Good evening, everyone. My name is Paul Young. I'm just going to walk you through retail sales for the U.S. for March 2016. Now, this is just going to be a high-level view. It won't cover all the geographic areas, but it gives you kind of a view of what's happening in terms of the retail sales side in the U.S., and that's a critical driver for economic growth because two-thirds of the GDP is driven by retail sales. So this is presentation is one perspective. It's not the only perspective. I would encourage you to go out to Forbes, Moody's, or other sites, and even the government of the U.S. site to kind of get a view of retail. Here's a little bit brief bio about myself. I'm a CPA CGA by trade. I've been in the academia, industry, as well as financial solutions. This kind of gives you a bit of the agenda. I'll give you overall retail sales trends. I'll talk about the housing market, tonnage expansion, and different areas. So if we look at a high level view, okay, and we take the 50,000 view, basically retail sales are down in March, but a lot of that's been driven by automotive sales, and the automotive is one of the strong points of the U.S. economy. We're starting to see a bit of a pullback in the U.S. economy around automotive, so that's something to watch and to play. But the good news is other sectors have picked up, like building materials, which is a good thing. That shows you a healthy housing market because people are building houses or renovating. That's a good thing. So you're seeing some other areas of the economy are still spending money, but because the automotive is a significant big dollar ticket item, it's going to impact the overall growth numbers. I just want to throw you the housing stuff. As you see that the U.S. had significant issues in terms of foreclosures, part of the 2008-2009 recession. That's why you're seeing that the cost of housing costs drop down. You're starting to see it come back up. U.S. housing starts at the highest level now, so we're seeing that potential area growing in the U.S., and it's something to watch and play. Now I picked tonnage because this gives you a good indicator of how goods are moving around. And then there's two different opinions here, and if you look at what the trucking associations say, on the consumer goods side it seems to be okay, but on the industrial side, whether that's gas fracking or moving petroleum products, it seems to be down, and along with some other factory capacity issues you're seeing there as well, and that's something they're saying to watch out for. The other thing too is, and I've discussed in previous presentations, there's a considerable issue with overhang with inventory, and that's causing some issues on terms of the retail sales side. I brought the expansion in. This is just Hudson Bay, but it shows you that some retailers are making expansions in terms of expanding existing stores or looking at how they're going to renovate and use technology, especially as they move more to an e-commerce model. Store closures, this is a constant thing that happens in retail. They typically are looking to realign their stores in terms of profitability as part of getting better control of their operations, and you're seeing here that's what's happening with Sears. This is a company that's coming in the news. They're a teen apparel company, and they're basically restructuring themselves, so they're filing for bankruptcy protection potentially. That's something that came out recently. And the last thing I want to talk about here is Omni Channel. This is something you probably heard about, but it's basically a multi-approach to sales that seeks to provide customers with a seamless shopping experience. So in other words, it's basically managing some of that e-commerce side. So the problem is right now, and this is where potentially where people in analytics can come into play, there's significant issues around gathering customer data. Customer data is critical for agility to make decisions, so quality data actually helps decisions in terms of product offerings, and this is something to watch out for as they move forward. Omnichannel is a great concept, a great idea, but it probably needs to be reworked in terms of with IT companies like IBM to kind of relook at how they can position the data to kind of make it more seamless and make sense for businesses to make decisions. Now this presentation is just a quick one on US retailers. They're kind of give you an idea what's going on. As I said to most people, it's up to you to kind of go out and look at to see what the trends is, but it's critical to understanding that with retail sales doing okay, that means the U.S. economy is doing relatively strong. Okay, there's some pressure in the U.S. economy, especially with the rise in the U.S. dollar and the oil price including shock is still working itself through the situation. But the good thing is the U.S. economy is still scheduled to grow this year, and retail sales will be one part of that growth. Thank you.